What's up guys, my name is Ace, and the Halloween Scream event is now live for CoD WW2. And with this we have 3 new guns, as well as a crossbow and a sledgehammer melee weapon. So today we're going to be doing a rapid fire basic stats for all of these. Keep in mind, I likely won't have time to do full gun guides between now and the launch of Black Ops 4, because I have a bunch of traveling starting tomorrow. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try to pack essentially gun guides into this episode for each one of these weapons. I might not cover every single one of the stats that I'd normally cover in gun guide, but we're going to blast through it as fast as possible. So starting it off with the SMG, this is the EMP44, which is a German submachine gun. This one is within the Halloween Scream collection, so it is a limited time item, and it will cost you 16,850 armory credits. This SMG is going to be a 4, 5, or 6 shot kill in core game modes. Our rate of fire is 741 rounds per minute, which is right in between the PPSH and the Proto X1. And this means our statistical time to kill is going to be 243 milliseconds in the 4-shot kill range, 324 in the 5-shot kill range, and 405 in the 6-shot kill range. Our magazine capacity is great at 36 rounds with 108 in reserve, and with extended mags it's 54 rounds with 162 in reserve, which is amazing for an SMG. Our reload ad time is a little bit slower than normal for SMGs at 1.49 seconds. As for our handling, aim down sight and sprint out time are both going to be 160 milliseconds, which is the faster category for SMGs. Movement speed is 100%, and our movement speed while aiming down sight is 72%. Both of those are standard for SMGs. For idle sway, you can see it's pretty standard for the SMG category. There's definitely some idle sway there that will affect your shot at longer ranges. For recoil, it's got relatively high recoil, but it doesn't kick side to side too much. It's kind of similar to the PPSH or the Proto X1. Kind of fits right in the middle of those two, just like with its rate of fire. Our hipfire spread is standard for the SMG category, and now let's hop into the ranges real quick. Our 4-shot kill range is a little bit better than both the PPSH as well as the Proto X1, which is great, and our 5-shot kill range is pretty standard at about 25 meters. With suppressor, both of those ranges are reduced by 30%, and with advanced rifling, both of those ranges are increased by 25%. This is excellent for core game modes, but keep in mind, in hardcore game modes, advanced rifling doesn't help your 1-shot kill potential at all. It's a completely wasted attachment. So that's the EMP44 out of the way. It's very, very similar to both the Proto X1 and the PPSH. Next up, we have the rifle. This is the NZ41. Once again, this is in the Halloween Scream collection, so it is limited time. And with this one, it's going to cost you 22,525 armory credits. With this rifle, it's always going to be a 3 or 4-shot kill. Our rate of fire is 400 rounds per minute. And this means our time to kill is actually quite slow at 300 milliseconds in the 3-shot kill range and 450 milliseconds in the 4-shot kill range. What this gun lacks in time to kill, though, it does make up for range, which we'll get into in a little bit. Our magazine capacity is not that great at 24 rounds with 72 in reserve, and with extended mags we can bump that up to 36 rounds with 108 in reserve. Our reload ad time is quite fast for the rifle category at 1.99 seconds. Both our aim down sight and sprint out time appear to be 260 milliseconds, which is a little bit on the slow side for the rifle category, but not ridiculously slow by any means. Our movement speed and our aim down sight strafe speed appear to be standard for the rifle category at 95% and 40% respectively. As for idle sway, this is pretty standard for the rifle category. There's definitely some idle sway there, but it's generally not going to have too much of an effect on your shot, even at longer ranges. As for recoil, this is a very accurate gun. It has barely any recoil at all. It does kick a little bit side to side and a little bit vertically sometimes, but it's within a very small confined area, and therefore even at really long ranges, you'll be able to pick people off no problem with this rifle. As for hipfire, unfortunately it does fall in the worst category for rifles. But this brings us to our ranges, and as you can see here, this is one of the big upsides to this gun over the other 3-shot kill guns in this game. It has a 50-meter 3-shot kill range, which is very, very impressive, especially combined with the fact that it's very accurate and you won't have problems hitting people up to 50 meters. This gun is really designed for hanging back a little bit and picking people off at range. It's actually somewhat like a hybrid between a rifle and an LMG. So that's it for the NZ41. Now let's move on to the SDK 9mm, which is a sniper rifle. This one is not tied to the Halloween Scream event. It's in the Operation Overlord collection, which means it isn't a limited time, and at any point you'll be able to spend armory credits to get this variant. With this one, it does cost a little bit more at 24,725 armory credits, but it's quite a good sniper rifle. Its aim down sight time is a little bit faster than the Kar 98K at 400 milliseconds. So it's not the fastest out there, but it's reasonably fast. It's going to be a 1-shot kill anywhere but the legs, just like the Kar 98K. It's suppressed all the time, just like the Delisle carbine. It's got a 7-round magazine to it, and it also has the fastest rate of fire for any of the bolt-action sniper rifles in the game at 56 rounds per minute. This is noticeably faster than all of the other bolt-actions, and therefore this is going to be a very solid quick-scoping sniper rifle, I feel, especially for those people that want to get their feeds and everything. This gun is going to be great for that. This is now one of the best sniper rifles in the game, in my opinion, based on the initial stats that I've seen so far, at least. As it is right now, I see literally no reason to use the Kar 98 over this gun. Now, after the sniper rifle, we have the sledgehammer, which is a melee weapon, so I'm not going to get into any sort of stats or anything like that, but I just wanted to let you know, if you wanted to get the sledgehammer, it is in the Operation Overlord collection, so just like with the sniper rifle, it is not a limited time item, and it will only cost 7,125 armory credits. So finally, this brings us to the crossbow. The crossbow is very interesting. If you're looking for this, it's actually in the launcher category. And with this, if you wanted to get it, once again, it's in the Operation Overlord collection, so it's not a limited time variant, and it's going to cost you 13,175 armory credits. With this, we get a standard rate of fire of 31 rounds per minute, which is pretty slow if you're comparing it to some of like the bolt-action sniper rifles out there, for instance. It's quite slow, but it will be a one-shot kill anywhere from the waist up. So anywhere but the legs, you will get a one-shot kill with this crossbow. But, of course, keep in mind with this, there is travel time to the bolt, and there is also a drop to the bolt. So you have to aim a little bit high if you're aiming at longer ranges. Generally, you don't have to do that if you're right up close, but when you're starting to stretch it a bit, you definitely have to aim a little bit high on your target. Now, the crossbow so far, keep in mind, I haven't had much time to actually play with these guns because I'm just rushing this video out as fast as possible because I got a flight to catch pretty soon. So far, it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. There are some great attachments for it. I recommend having a look at those. There's an attachment to increase your rate of fire. There's an explosive attachment, which I'm a little worried about, but haven't had the time to do any testing on this yet. We got a tri-bolt attachment, as well as attachment that makes your bolts travel faster, so that's really cool. And overall, this was a great addition. I really wish I would have added it earlier in the game's life cycle because it's a lot of fun, and I don't feel like it's incredibly unbalanced by any means. I think most of the time, if you're running around with a crossbow, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage, and that's fine because it's fun to use. So aside from that though, I don't really have any other stats that I'm going to be giving you guys for the crossbow. You can kind of figure it out for yourself. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend spending the armory credits on this compared to any one of the other guns that were just added, simply because it's unique. All of those other guns have pretty suitable replacements for it. Like the EMP44, you could either use a Proto X1 or a PPSH, and you've got a very similar gun. Same thing goes with the NZ41. You could use most of the 3-shot kill rifles out there, and you're probably better off with those 3-shot kill rifles in most situations, so it's not really all that great. And with the SDK 9mm, like I said, it is better than the Kar 98 in pretty much every category I've seen so far, but realistically speaking, it's not going to be that much of a difference, so you'll do just as well most of the time with a Kar 98K. And with that, that's going to wrap it up for this super quick rapid fire, like triple or quadruple gun guide. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I put a lot of effort into this. I've been rushing like a madman, so I hope you guys appreciate this one. I'd like to know in the comment section below, of course, out of all of these new weapons that were added, which one is your favorite? And just in general, what are your overall thoughts on these new weapons? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.